here at I4I, and I'm here with my colleague, Jacqueline Bruner, who has extensive experience with XML and XML PM. Please note that this presentation is being recorded, and the recording will be made available to all attendees. Please type any questions you have during the webinar into the chat. Direct them to the host by clicking on the host's name in the right pane. If you see a chat icon, you can click on it. Otherwise, click in the host area on the right-hand side to enable the chat pane, as you can currently see on my screen. Please ensure you see host in the to drop-down. Questions will be collected and answered at the end of the webinar during our Q&A session. In today's presentation, we'll go over some common questions you might have about Health Canada's XML PM initiative. We'll discuss the benefits of XML PM, why add structure to the product Monograph. Then we'll talk about its genealogy, where does XML PM come from. Then we'll look at the similarities and differences between Health Canada's XML PM versus FDA structured product label. Then we'll discuss what's metadata and how is it used in XML PM. Then we'll look at the Health Canada's XML PM implementation, its scope, and the start of the pilot program. Finally, we'll take a look at the I4I solution for XML PM. So why add structure to the product Monograph? There are many benefits of using a structured XML document as opposed to a PDF document. With structured XML content, we can use established data standards such as controlled vocabularies and standardized terminology lists. These data standards promote consistency across data collection projects. Adding structure also provides us the ease of searchability. Encoded data or metadata can be indexed, allowing users to search by values such as ingredient name or section heading. These searchability features are not available in PDF documents, and the lack of controlled vocabulary make results incomplete. Data in a structured format also provides openness, transparency, and easy access to drug product and prescribing information for healthcare providers and other downstream users. There's also a lot of other downstream potential, as the metadata is stored in machine processable encoding, which allows publishing in various different formats. Other benefits include the ease of the submission process. Electronic labels are facilitated by automated validation. Automated validation can provide results within minutes, so there would be faster communication with Health Canada in terms of your submissions. You will be alerted to issues faster than with a manual submission, and thus can come to a resolution in a much more timely manner. Finally, the standard terminology lists ensure consistency for searching and analytics. Therefore, moving to a structured format not only encourages the adoption of technology, but also ultimately helps and expedites the results for the end users, such as the patient. So what is this metadata that we're adding to the product Monograph? In brief, metadata is data about data, or data that describes other data. It's the information enclosed in the XML coding that characterizes attributes. In your everyday life, you see it being used for searching for information such as books on a library website, videos in Netflix, and also for shopping on Amazon's online store. Similarly, metadata in pharmaceutical applications is linked to data and validation checks in structured documents where it helps us to search medicines fast and efficiently, for example, by using the brand name, ingredients, dosage form, etc. in the search field. Another example would be on the DailyMed website, you can search for FDA's FPLs by using the drug name, the NDC code, which is similar to a DIN number in Canada, the drug class, or the set ID that's linked to the document. Metadata also helps utilize controlled vocabularies. Controlled vocabularies provide a standardized, consistent terminology that's available in form of drop-down lists, for example. And consistent terminologies result in content that is less error-prone and more likely to be readily understood from document to document. Now, let's talk about where the XML PM comes from, its genealogy. In brief, XML is the base that formed Health Level 7's SPL standard. The SPL standard was then adopted by the US FDA for the exchange of product and facility information via the Structured Product Labeling or SPL documents. And the same Health Level 7 SPL standard is now being adopted by Health Canada for XML PMs. So what is XML? XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. XML is a markup language that encodes documents in a format that is both human readable and machine readable. It was first developed in the late 1990s and has since been a common standard for exchanging information over the internet and across systems. And this language forms the base of Health Level 7 SPL standard. Health Level 7 is a not-for-profit standards development organization dedicated to providing standards for the exchange of electronic health information that supports clinical practice and management of health services. The Health Level 7 SPL standard is a document markup standard that specifies the structure and semantics for the regulatory requirements of exchanging drug product information. Thus, it basically defines the content of human prescription drug labeling in an XML format. This SPL standard, approved by Health Level 7, was adopted by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration in 2005 as a mechanism for exchanging labeling information. This labeling information in an FDA SPL consists of the text, tables, images, as well as the machine-readable metadata. And in 2016, Health Canada announced its intention to adopt the structured format for product Monograph, which was originally known as SPM, but the name has now evolved to XML PM. Therefore, like SPL documents, XML PM documents will contain the content of labeling, which is the text, tables, images, as well as the metadata, all in one structured document. So since both XML PM and SPL follow the Health Level 7 SPL standard, let's take a look at the similarities and differences between them. Both XML PM and SPL documents utilize the schema data elements. Schema is what defines the rules of creating a document. Both XML PM and SPL use unique identifiers for the different terminology and capture product and manufacturer information within the document. And finally, the XML PM aligns with the Health Level 7 and IDMP standards which the FDA also aligns to. And now, let's take a look at how XML PM and SPL are different. In an SPL, you are required to add packaging details of the product in the metadata, but it's currently optional in an XML PM. However, XML PM will incorporate some items that are not currently a part of the FDA SPL. The XML PM's metadata captures the drug identification number, or the DIN, which is similar to the NDC number in the FDA SPL. Also captured are the pharmaceutical standard, scheduling symbol, and the therapeutic class. Next difference is that the XML PM encodes both English and French official languages in the metadata, and the controlled vocabularies support both languages. On the other hand, the US FDA SPL is limited to English only. The US FDA SPL links the product NDC codes to establishments' business operations, whereas this is not available in the XML PM. Another difference is that the XML PM currently only has the human drugs in scope. The veterinary, OTC, natural health products, cosmetics, medical devices, and food labels are presently out of scope. So earlier we discussed that metadata, which is data about data, is being incorporated in the product monograph in addition to the content of labeling, which is the paragraphs, tables, and images. So how exactly is this metadata used and incorporated in XML PM? There are different types of metadata gathered by the XML PM document. There's document metadata, organization metadata, and manufactured product metadata. The metadata associated with the document includes information related to identification, tracking, and version control. Some of this information, like the unique product monograph ID, which is equivalent to the set ID used in FDA SPL documents, will remain consistent in the document throughout its life cycle. Of particular note to XML PM is that this is where the metadata concerning the document's language will be stored. The organization metadata, as the name suggests, stores data such as market authorization holders' contact information, a unique identifier for the company, and optional importer and distributor details. The manufactured product metadata holds data about the product itself, such as its physical and medicinal characteristics. Here we can see how the metadata for the drug's product characteristics is enclosed within the extensible markup language, or XML format. The target audience for XML code is machines, so the unstyled view is not very human readable. To fix this, we use a style sheet. A style sheet dictates how the data is rendered on a web page, which would be more organized and readable. On the right-hand side is an example of how the XML PM data is presented in the FDA SPL style sheet. Here you can see the same drug's product characteristics displayed in a format that is styled and much easier for humans to read. Right above the product characteristics, we have the active ingredients, which are also part of the manufactured product metadata and are thus displayed in the same table. The first section at the top is the content of labeling data, which is separate from the metadata, but is still enclosed within the same XML backbone. It should be noted that metadata-rich XML PM documents allow document data to be extracted and used by more than just Health Canada's style sheet. For example, searches. As mentioned before, metadata will allow the searching of XML PMs online. These searches could be performed on any document, organization, or even product value. In practice, this means that it will be much easier for physicians, healthcare providers, and consumers or patients to look up information such as who manufactures a product or what the active ingredients of the product are. Then we have the Content Management Systems, or CMSs. CMSs can harness XML PM metadata to search, but also to organize documents based on the metadata values. For instance, both the French and English versions of an XML PM could be displayed together in a tab or a folder, logically grouping them using metadata values. Finally, having product information stored in metadata could down the road help to align content across jurisdictions, such as the US and Canada. Being able to compare the information between the section of an XML PM and a similar section in an SPL would allow people to easily ensure that the content between the documents is consistent. I'd now like to hand the microphone over to Jacqueline Bruner, who has been working closely with Health Canada since the launch of the XML PM initiative, sharing her extensive SPL and XML expertise and consulting directly with a number of our clients who participated in the technical pilot. Jacqueline, over to you.
Thank you, Amanpreet, and merci. And hello, everybody. I'm going to start today by looking at the scope of the XML PM implementation. The scope of the XML PM will include the human pharmaceutical, biologic, and radiopharmaceutical XML PMs. And the electronic submissions in ECTD and the non-ECTD format will also continue. The OTC, vet, natural health product, medical device, food, and other self-care products are currently out of scope, as are the registration of labelers and establishments. There's no word yet as to when these might be included. Late last year, we wrapped up the technical pilot, and the pilot involved close to 20 pharmaceuticals and the Health Canada team. Discussion and debate about various aspects of the XML PM took place, everything from the template section validation to controlled vocabularies, the number of allowed routes of administration, and lots of other small details. With the technical pilot done, Health Canada moved on to the release of the draft guidance and the start of the guidance review period. We submitted numerous comments during this process, and the feedback we received was positive. The review period wrapped up at the end of June. The Health Canada team is now busy working on a report of the input gathered during the guidance review. As well, they have created a sample XML PM and sent it out to stakeholders for review. In parallel, their team is working on the necessary technical components necessary for the production pilot, the main three being the controlled vocabularies, the style sheet, and the validation rules. We're expecting them to provide an update shortly, and this should include the schedule for the release of the report and the pilot and post-pilot phases. The XML PM production pilot will be used for actual regulatory filings. The process is going to begin with a technical pre-submission consultation. We were involved in technical consultations with Health Canada on behalf of our clients during the technical pilot, and will be offering that service again to those who are interested. Once the pilot ends, Health Canada will start accepting XML PMs. As far as the time frame for the start of the pilot, the Health Canada XML PM team is working on the technical aspects, and this is likely to continue to the end of the year. This puts our expectation to the start date of spring of 2020. Our Canadian clients will have access to the same products and services for XML PM that are in use by our US clients today for SPL. If you want to fully outsource, our regulatory team will take your product monograph and data and prepare your XML PM submission. For those who want to keep things as they are in-house, we offer the A4L tool, a plugin to Microsoft Word on your desktop that lets you continue to create your labeling content while it handles all of the structure and XML for Health Canada. Let's take a quick look at how you would use A4L to create your own XML PM. As A4L is simply a plugin for Microsoft Word, creating an XML PM in A4L is very similar to how you create a product monograph now. The authoring process is the same as it currently is. You continue to use Word to build a new structured template, or but with a new structured template. A4L also gives you some new menu items that bring up forms for you to select or enter the product information metadata we discussed earlier. All of this metadata is stored directly within the Word document. Looking a little closer at the metadata, the Health Canada controlled vocabularies are incorporated, so you just need to select the desired values. You can see it has fields for everything from product class, therapeutic classification, dosage form, route of administration, brand name, marketing category, control number, etc. This data is part of the Microsoft Word document in A4L. The content and the metadata are held together in one document. As the XML PM won't be needed for the two official languages, we make it easy to create the other language and to keep both documents aligned. We simply change the language using a menu item. You can switch the language between English and French. When you change the language, all the text in the user dialogue, the headings, and the table of contents is changed. You can hopefully see here that the dosage form, the route of administration, and the therapeutic class are all in French in this dialogue. The content of labeling, which is the body text and the tables, will continue to be translated using your current approach. Finally, you publish your XML PM directly from the Word A4L add-in. The tool takes care of creating and validating the XML file, as well as the image files, and packaging them all up for submission. And a reminder, if you haven't already sent us questions, please feel free to do so now using the WebEx chat feature. All questions should be directed to the
Okay, so we have a question about XML PM. Do I need to submit the XML PM in both English and French? So currently the drug manufacturers only need to submit it in one of the official languages for the review process. And once it's approved for marketing in Canada, then the sponsors or the drug manufacturers translate it to the second language for use in sales and marketing. Nonetheless, I'd like to mention that Health Canada is in the process of putting in new procedures into place that will require that sponsors submit their SPM or the XML PM in both official languages in the near future. And there's another question. After a structured product monograph is submitted and accepted by Health Canada, where will the files be available? So this is very similar to how the DailyMed works for SPLs. When you submit your XML product monographs to Health Canada, they will be available at the Health Canada's website on the Drug and Health Product Register. So, okay, I see that we have a few questions about our application for XML PM. So let me hand it back to Jacqueline, who has been very involved in this.
I had a question about how you can get involved in the pilot and what would we do to help you if you wanted to join. To become involved with the pilot with our assistance, you can just contact us at, email us at contact@i4i.com, and we're going to be offering pilot participants assistance with a technical pre-submission consultation and can either provide XML PM conversion services for you and submission services, or you can use A4L in-house. We'll be offering a pilot package that includes the software, support, and training. Another question about controlled vocabularies, asking if they're going to be the same for those used in the US and for IDMP as the ones in Canada. Right now, according to Health Canada, there will not be shared controlled vocabularies. However, they are in discussion about aligning them to IDMP, and we'd also eventually like to have international alignment of vocabularies if possible. So right now, no, but it is something that they are keeping their minds on.
So there's another question I see about the product monograph. Will the type of documents expand beyond the product monograph as it has in the US with the SPL? So at this point, Health Canada is not planning to expand beyond the product monograph, but we will keep you posted if the rules change in near future, but as of now, it's just the product monograph.
Got one more question about translation and how you would handle translations if you currently use an outside service or consultant and if you want to be part of the pilot. If there's two things you can keep in mind. If you want to use our XML PM conversion service, you simply provide your translated product monograph and we'll take care of creating the XML PM submission. That's it. If you decide to use the A4L tool, you'll be able to save a translation-ready copy of the XML PM to send to your translation house. When they send it back to you, you can just import it back into the tool. We don't currently have any more questions. Feel free to send any more through the chat. It looks like we don't have any more questions. We'd like to thank you all for participating today.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Okay, thank you, Messi, everyone, for attending the webinar. If you have any follow-up questions, please send us an email at contact@i4i or info@i4i.com, and we'll be happy to assist you. Thank you, and have a good rest of your day.